It's almost hard to keep up with, but Timex keep on coming out with new releases, and today we're taking a look at one of their latest releases. This is really more of an update or an addition to an existing model. It is the Marlin GMT. This is a dressy version of a GMT, and it is very affordable. I have one hands-on. I have the stainless steel with the blue dial to show you guys, so let's flip the camera and take a look at Timex's latest release, the Marlin GMT. It's definitely not a secret that I love Timex. I collect Timex. I own many Timex, vintage and new. However, there was a while where I wasn't too crazy about the direction that Timex were going in. However, over the past few years, and I have to say it's been about 3 or 4 years now, they have steered it around, going in the right direction. Everything that they are coming out with, everything that they are adding functionality to or revamping, they're doing a great job, and all of their watches are affordable. This is yet another affordable watch that they've come out with that I think is great looking. The Marlin is a great looking watch. This is a GMT version of the Marlin, and they kept it simple. They didn't go too crazy with the design here. This is a straightforward, everyday design that I think works really well, just like the Marlin. What you're getting here is an acrylic crystal, a blue dial. They also have a black dial that has a PVD coated case and bracelet that is in a gold tone. There is also a version on a strap that gets a gold crown and gold tone indices and hands. This is the blue version with the silver or stainless steel tone hands and indices. This is a GMT. It's powered by a tried and true quartz movement. So inside here, you're getting a quartz GMT movement. So that means that this is a collar GMT. It's an office GMT. All that means is when you pull out the crown into the first position, it will change the GMT time. That is that little hand with the red tip, and of course the date. So one direction, you're going to change the GMT. The other direction, you're going to change the date. All of that, I think, is very acceptable at this price. You have a stainless steel case, a stainless steel bracelet. It is a multi-link J style bracelet, let's call it that. And of course you have a double push button enclosure. It is still pressed. Hopefully one day they get away from this, although it is very functional and it keeps it very low profile. I would like to see them move to something that is maybe milled in the future. But with that being said, it's not really a big deal, and these wear very comfortably. It is signed Timex right there, brushing on the sides, polishing down the middle, and then you have polishing on the edges, as you could see. The case is a very traditional looking Marlin case. When you turn it on its side, it looks like a Marlin. You have polishing basically throughout. There's some facets to it, and then polishing on the edges of the lugs as well. So basically, this is a fully polished case, although at first glance, it doesn't look like a fully polished case, but it is. And then you have a very domed acrylic crystal applied indices. I'm not sure what the lume is on this watch. We will do a lume shot towards the end. At the top of the dial, right below the 12 o'clock index, it says Marlin and Timex. Timex, obviously, their logo. And then down at the 6 o'clock, right above the 6 o'clock, in between the hand stack and that 6 o'clock index, it says GMT. At the 3 o'clock, you have the date. That takes the place of the index at 3 o'clock, but very, very slightly, so it doesn't really take up the entire index. And then you have stick hands and a needle seconds hand, and again, you have an arrow for that GMT hand that is red. And again, I'm not sure if that's filled with lume. We will do a lume shot towards the end of the video. You have a bi-colored track. That is a 24-hour track that's on the dial. And then you have around a 40 millimeter case. I measured in at around 39.9 millimeters, 12.9 millimeters thick. That's including that acrylic crystal that is very domed. And then you have a lug to lug of around 47 millimeters. That is including the bracelet, because you do get female end links. On my wrist today, I have a very special watch. This was my father's watch. It was a watch that he purchased essentially right before he passed away. It was his nicest watch that he ever bought. In fact, he never bought a nice watch up until when he retired, and then he passed away right after retirement. And This is a watch that I cherish, and I have this on because I was recently on a podcast talking about this specific watch. That's why I have it on my wrist today. And there is the Marlin GMT on my 7.5-inch wrist, 40 millimeters, 12.9 millimeters thick, 47 millimeters lug to lug. You do get a 5.8 millimeter crown, and this is a 39.9 millimeter watch, essentially a 40 millimeter watch. You do have a little bit of a sunburst effect on that dial. It just looks like a classy everyday GMT. You get 50 meters of water resistance and that boxed domed acrylic crystal, which does account for a good portion of that 12.9 millimeter thickness. The bracelet on here is really nice. You do have solid links, solid end links, and you do have a pressed clasp. So that would be my only complaint, like I was mentioning before. Again, I have no idea if there is lume on here. It might be a very dark lume shot, but we will check that out right now. Well, there is lume, but just not on the hands. So I'm not sure the point of having no lume on the hands, but there you go. The indices are lumed, and that GMT hand is lumed, but there is no lume on the hands. I'm not sure if the other versions get lume on the hands. Unfortunately, this version does not. Price on this watch is $229. I think that is an excellent price, even though it still doesn't have lume. This is technically a dress GMT. That's what I would say it is. It's not a sports GMT. The Marlin is a dress watch. This is a dressy GMT. The fact that there's lume on here is great. I wish that they didn't put it on the indices and maybe just put it on the hands. I think that would have made a little bit more sense so that you could see that your watch is, or you could at least see the time in the dark. So that would have made more sense. But there you go. There is lume. Maybe it doesn't make all that much sense. $229 for this version on the bracelet. It's a little bit less expensive on the strap, and it's slightly more expensive with the PVD gold case and bracelet. I believe that is $239, so it's $10 more if you want that. I believe it might be PVD coated or ion plated. I'm not 100% sure because they don't give you that information on their website, but that's really it. I think for $229, there are not many GMTs out there that you can get that are really this good looking and obviously historic, because this is the Marlin. This is a classic Timex, and I think it's a really good looking watch for the money. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Obviously, I like it because I have one, but tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.